That down, let's move on to this, shall we? The new John Krasinski film, If, is now out in theaters. And it was a really interesting juxtaposition. It came out, the first reactions came out last week that were very strong. Like, none of them saying best movie of the year or anything, but the first reactions were very strong. And so when the actual Rotten Tomatoes score came out and the review embargo lifted, I was surprised to see a 51%. 51% on it, which is, unfortunate to see. Now, it's got an 87% audience score on it, but still 51%. I thought, okay, I guess I should prepare myself that maybe I may not love this one. That's okay. There's a lot of, or at least a number of Ryan Reynolds films I don't like. 6 Underground should be exactly there, 6 Underground. Wow. The one Ryan made with one of my other favorite movie stars, Dwayne Johnson, in Red Notice was terrible. So it's not like I like every Ryan Reynolds film. So I'm like, all right, maybe I just got to prepare myself that this is not one I'm going to like. No problem. I got Deadpool coming. I'm not gonna beat around here, guys. I love this movie. I loved it. And you know me, all film is subjective, right? And so when I go see movies I love, I go, yeah, I can get why other people may not like it. Or when I see a movie I really dislike, I go, you know what? I hated it, but I can see why other people would like it. Guys, I don't understand. I love this movie. Do I think it's going to be a top 5 movie of the year? No. But I ended up loving this movie because I'll tell you what do I always say movies are? They're experiential events, right? And I came out of If feeling. The whole movie made me feel. And that's the main goal of any movie, right? Is to make the audience feel, whether it's feel fear or feel tension or feel shock
or nausea or like Madam Web
or nausea or drunk, depending on what you're doing.
That might have been the nausea.
Or whatever else it is. Movies are designed to make you feel something. And I'll tell you what, I think what John Krasinski did in this movie is remarkable in the way that without it feeling manipulative, because you can tell when a movie's trying to make you feel something, right? Without doing it in a way that felt manipulative, John Krasinski found a way to, from the beginning of the movie all the way through the end, to make me feel. Now, the basic idea of the story that is communicated in the trailers is that a young 12-year-old girl comes back to New York City where, when she was much younger, she experienced a loss. And it's there that she discovers the world of imaginary friends. Imaginary friends whose kids have grown up and now they're looking for new kids and they need help to try to get paired up with new kids and all this kind of stuff. That's the basic premise of the movie that we all saw. The movie has several twists and turns. And I saw one person who did an initial reaction say, the movie starts off feeling like just a charming kids movie, but it turns into a deeply emotional adults movie at the same time. And I'm gonna tell you this quick story. There's a moment in it. You see a glimpse of it in the trailer where there's a teddy bear character, Louis, voiced by the late great Louis Gossett Jr. And he's talking to the young girl, and it's something he says to her. I think there's a part of it in one of the trailers. He says, you never fully forget someone you truly love. And I'm not going to say what happens immediately after that, because that's not in the trailer. But I remember I was sitting there watching this, and I've told many stories about, the guy who was my best friend growing up, and he died a few years ago. It very much reminded me of that. And I won't say why, because that would be spoiling something in the movie. And I just remember feeling heartbreak, and then heartbreak transitioning into joy because of something they do in the movie, right? And my wife, Anne, just forget about it. She was ugly crying through like half of the movie. It's just half the movie. She was just like ugly crying, which is good. Both because of sad things, but because of beautiful, charming, wonderful, warm things that happen. It is a movie that is filled with warmth. Now, I will say this, it moves too slow. I think Krasinski could have done a better job with the pacing of the film, because that is something I noticed throughout. I think it needed to move a little bit quicker. I don't think we even meet our first If until 30 minutes into the film. I might be off by a couple of minutes, but by the time the first If showed up in the movie, I looked at my watch and I think we were a good 30 minutes into the film. So I think the setup of the movie took a little bit too long. That's my biggest criticism, was the pacing of it. And then some of it dragged a bit. And there's a bit of a twist later on that I think was very, very predictable, but whatever. At the end of the day, though, like I said, to me, movies are experiential events. And to anybody who watched this movie and didn't like it, that's the subjectivity of film. Movies are art and they hit us all in different ways. And I do accept it, but I don't necessarily understand it, because I walking out of this film, it just reminded me about why I love movies so much. You know, I just walked out feeling so much. My heart was full. It was warm. I'd gone on a bit of an emotional roller coaster and made great observations about life. There's a line in the film. Well, I won't give you any context so you don't know what it pertains to. But there's a line in the film where saying it's when kids grow up that they need their imaginary friends the most. And that becomes a theme throughout the movie as well. And I'm like, man, it made me and Ann have this great in-depth conversation as we were driving home. And it's just made me think a lot in the now 14 hours since I've seen the film. I adore this film. Again, am I saying this should be nominated for Best Picture of the Year? No, I'm not saying that. But for me, it is a warm, wonderful, emotionally satisfying, charming film. And personally, all due respect to everybody else who saw it and didn't like it, because it's all film subjective. That's cool. But I think John Krasinski's done it again. And he's just now, for me, becoming a director. I will get on a plane and fly to other countries if I have to watch whatever his next film is. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Anyway, Chris, I know you haven't had a chance to see it yet, but where's your expectation levels been? You know, the stuff you've been hearing?
You know, I was really excited about going to see this. I really thought this looked very, very charming and everything. And I did get a little disheartened by the divide on this one, of just some people loving it, some people hating it. We'll talk about another director doing this in a moment. But I love when a director makes a big swing and does something that we haven't seen from them. And I think that's the thing I was most looking forward to with this, and still am. To be clear, I'm still going to go see this movie and everything too, especially after you giving it a glowing review. I just feel like, I don't know what other people were expecting based on some of the reviews I've seen, I guess. Because I've heard about some things with this being a colder movie or just not the friends you would want to have or imagine. And I feel like maybe some people just like woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know. I opted to see Babes this week, which I highly recommend for everybody to go see.
That's when they showed at CinemaCon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, listen. So if you haven't gone to see this movie yet, do your due diligence. I mean, like I said, the movie is literally a coin flip amongst the critics. Like only 51% of them liked it, 49% didn't. I have no explanation for that personally, but read some of the other reviews, make a decision. But for me personally, my recommendation is go see this and go see it with somebody you care about. I had a really good time watching it. I'll look forward to watching it again. And I'm just glad that, Reynolds didn't give us another crappy Red Notice. So anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see If so, what did you think about it? Do you agree with me? Maybe you agree with the half of the critics that didn't like it. All film is subjective. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.